like, I'm sorry, this does not help Israel. Like, this literally does not help Israel. Like, for people who are paying attention to what's going on, and there are a lot of you in here right now that never knew what the fuck was going on beforehand, and now you're paying attention to this. When you hear this, you're like, well, this is so stupid. Like, that's insane. Like, anyone who has learned about what the fuck has been going on in historic Palestine, with respect to what Israel has done to Palestinian people for the past week, or even like briefly looked at it, recognizes that, like, no, this is literally an apartheid state. It falls within the guidelines of an apartheid state perfectly. Okay? And it is. It straight up is. So considering that to be like anti-Semitic devalues actual anti-Semitism. You are devaluing legitimate instances of anti-Semitism by comparing it to actual reality, okay? Like actually real things, which is the Israeli apartheid state. That is a real thing. Okay? God damn, dude.
Hugger.
Anyway. In many ways, what Israel has been doing is worse than apartheid South Africa. Oh, I forgot to run a fucking ad at the top of the hour. I'm going to do it right now. We'll talk about this in a second. Hold on. But here's the 1 minute ad now. Where did you get your... Yeah, it's not a good transition, I know.
444.
I know I didn't start right at 2. Okay. We're deeply disturbed by the recent surge of anti-Semitic incidents in the United States. Understandable. Okay. We appreciate your administration's commitment to combat anti-Semitism in all forms by continuing to work with us to address this scourge. We also know that the issue is deeply important for you and your family. We believe that we need a united all-government effort to combat rising anti-Semitism in the country. As you know, over the past few weeks, we witnessed a surge in anti-Semitic incidents, saying who's Jewish before unleashing a violent attack on dinners while yelling anti-Semitic slurs. In Bal Harbor, Jewish family visiting in New Jersey was harassed by four men in an SUV. Free Palestine, fuck you. In Tucson, Arizona, individual threw a rock through a glass window, vandalizing congregation Shabbarim. It is undeniable that this increase in anti-Semitic incidents has coincided with the recent conflicts in the Middle East. It must be made clear that there is simply no excuse whatsoever for harassing or targeting people because they're Jewish. Yeah, no shit. That all the way up to this point, yeah, it's it is true. Let's see where it goes from here. Blaming Jews for conflict in the Middle East or seeking to hold them collectively responsible for Israel's government policies is anti-Semitic, and it is wrong, given that Jews in Europe and all around the world have faced a similar increase in threats in recent weeks coinciding with the conflict. We also urge you to swiftly nominate an experienced and qualified United States ambassador at large to monitor and combat anti-Semitism. Growing anti-Semitic incidents are being fueled from a variety of sources, including a torrent of anti-Semitic posts online.
6-month hassle.
Okay. For instance, the Anti-Defamation League found more than 17,000 tweets in 1 week from the phrase Hitler was right. At the same time, okay, this blows my fucking mind because, like, literally up to this point, up to this point, it's like a perfectly valid statement to bring out. Okay?
Hasanabi 6 months.
It's perfectly valid. I mean, it's not all from America. That's crazy. And it's like literally Nazis and shit that are saying this stuff. But at the same, and it's completely disconnected, or should be completely disconnected from Palestinian liberation in general. Okay? What is this? What? Weird how not a single one of these articles ever mentions a rise in Islamophobia. It doesn't matter. But now we're getting to a point where it's going to be really fucked up. There's such a strong Nazi presence here. It's such a fucking stain on the community. What do you mean? Are there people that are being like, are there Nazis in here right now? It could be. I've been getting a lot more attention recently from the remaining Nazis on the internet. No. I know for a fact. Maybe not like outwardly in the community right now, but yeah, just clap them always straight up. In Arizona? Oh, okay. There really are people who you know, are coming out of the woodwork. I get in moral arguments about this all the time. You can end up running in circles with someone who disagrees with you, but if you know the history and look at the conflict now, yeah. Anyway, we also reject comments. Oh, so at the same time, elected public officials have used reckless, irresponsible anti-Semitic rhetoric. These include repeated, unacceptable, and blatantly anti-Semitic statements made by a member of Congress comparing face masks and other COVID-19 public health measures to what happened in Nazi Germany during the Holocaust. Right. Still right. I mean, we've gone through one page of right. Let's see where the wrong is, because it's going to be so wrong. We also reject comments from members of Congress accusing Israel of being an apartheid state and committing acts of terrorism. The statements are anti-Semitic at their core and contribute to a climate that is hostile to many Jews. We must never forget that less than 80 years ago, within the lifetime of our parents, and then we talk about the Holocaust by Nazis, Israel has long provided the Jewish people with a homeland which they can be safe after facing centuries of persecution. So, this notion that, like, the Israeli state, which is a settler colonial apartheid state currently engaging in ethnic cleansing that they openly fucking mention, saying that as it is the same as, like, comparing the Holocaust to fucking mask wearing as though the Holocaust was just about, like, you know, inconveniencing Jewish people, is insane. That is not as insane as comparing the Holocaust to mask wearing. But, like, literally bringing this up right after that and saying both are anti-Semitic is psychotic. The irony here is that, like, conservatives do this all the time. Reactionaries do this all the time. They create a narrative of victimhood, and then they justify their actions through that narrative of victimhood regularly. The marginalization there, however, by educated parties is immediately recognized as bullshit. For example, we need a straight pride parade, or we need White Lives Matter movements, because Black Lives Matter movements are gaining traction. Like, these sorts of things are immediately recognized as, like, a false victimhood narrative that you have cultivated for yourself. Okay? But the difference here between, like, a historically dominant group trying to perceive victimhood or trying to generate an era of victimhood versus Jewish people doing that is that Jewish people have been marginalized historically and are still to this day in the Western world through anti-Semitism. So that is real. So in a way, it's even more nefarious to take something that is a real problem and to use that as a fucking shield, a way to deflect away. Okay? 4 persons on the Democratic Party wrote this. Our parents, our grandparents, 6 million people were murdered by the Nazis. Sadly, we have learned from our history that when this type of violence and inflammatory rhetoric goes unaddressed, it can fuel increasing hatred and violence and lead to unspeakable acts against Jews. This is why we need a united bipartisan national level of commitment to confront and address the threat of anti-Semitism head on. Anti-Semitism is wrong and it deserves to be unequivocally condemned by all. Yes, but these people also unequivocally condemn anti-Semitism. For example, where the fuck is Ilhan Omar's tweet? Ilhan Omar says, the rise in anti-Semitic attacks at home and abroad is appalling. We must be clear and unequivocal. Anti-Semitism is unacceptable and has no place in any movement. Fighting bigotry with any kind means fighting bigotry of every kind. And it also means that we cannot equate legitimate criticisms of the Israeli government, its policy, and its military occupation with anti-Semitism. Connecting the actions of a foreign country's government with military, foreign government and military with the entire faith does nothing to keep Jewish people safer. Straight up. Great take by Ilhan Omar. Once again. Okay? We'll look at Marco Rubio being a fucking idiot in a second, okay? But I just wanted to say that, like, this shit is really, really frustrating to see. And also counterproductive, ultimately, because it comes across to most normal people that are just, like, not really paying attention to this, but, or at least have seen, like, some coverage of it that is at least a little bit not biased, to be like, well, what the fuck? It seems like you're just bringing this up right now to use it as a deflection. And it kind of is. You are doing that. You're tying the actions of Israel as an apartheid colonial settler state and its unjustifiable and incredibly cruel actions towards Palestinians to the international Jewish community, while in the same sentence, you're literally saying it should not be. But they're not saying that Israel's actions are violent or apartheid, of course. So, I don't know, man. Lie about your religion to be safe? Is that what Biden's America is coming? America's public enemy number one crime, thanks to Democrats, murder, violence, lawlessness, and anti-Semitism are spreading across the country? What the fuck is this dude saying, bro? Yo, we really do have a bunch of fucking freak hogs in here as of late. I'm gonna keep that one. That's definitely a fucking dumbass boomer. I'm gonna keep that one, though. This letter is just straight up calling Ilhan Omar and them. All right, what is this? I want to see this. Let's do some bravophobia, something that everyone can agree on, you know? A little bit of bravophobia, bruv.
And both the Spider-Mans pointing at each other, but it's like that, but with everybody. So you have Hancock pointing at the permanent secretary, and you have the permanent secretary pointing at Hancock, and they're both pointing at the cabinet office. The cabinet office is pointing back at them, and all the different Spider-Mans are all pointing at each other, saying you're responsible. And the problem is, everyone's right and everyone's unhappy. Everyone kind of has a point about it.
Nice one, bruv. All right, CNN confronted the woman behind the bogus Arizona election audit.
Tonight, we finally hear from the Arizona State Senate Republican who called for the so-called audit of the 2020 presidential election ballots in Phoenix. She's avoided talking until now. CNN's King La caught up with her. Here's her report.
Good morning, Senator Fan.
You may not recognize Arizona Senate President Karen Fan.
Let's get this thing done.
But she's the elusive leader behind the notorious so-called audit happening in Maricopa County, Arizona.
I don't know what's legit, what isn't legit, but why wouldn't we want to answer those questions?
Because you're questioning democracy.
No, I'm questioning the integrity of the election system.
Which is the backbone of democracy.
That's right. Which means we should have full 100% confidence in our democracy and in our election system.
But you're talking about trying to disprove conspiracies.
If I have to, yes. Why wouldn't we? If somebody says something is out there, I would love to be able to say, that's not true, guys.
Aren't you raising more questions by giving rise to these conspiracy theories?
No. I'm answering questions.
After declining a dozen requests from CNN to talk, we finally caught up with her in the Senate parking lot. Despite 2 previous audits in Maricopa County that found no widespread fraud, Fan says this third review is needed. Over the last month, we've seen this little-known subcontractor the Republican-led Senate hired, Cyber Ninjas, use UV lights, hunting for non-existent watermarks on ballots, and high-tech cameras looking for foreign fibers and photocopied ballots. Here's why, says Fan.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Are you 100% confident that every vote that came in Arizona or any other state, can you say emphatically 100% that no dead people voted, that ballots weren't filled out by other people, that the chain of custody from the minute people voted their ballots, that the chain of custody was accurate and on target the entire time? Can you tell me that?
I can say that what the data shows us is that there was no widespread fraud.
I didn't say there was fraud.
But you just said chain of custody.
Yeah, chain of
Dead
custody.
people. These things are all fraud.
Well, I've asked you a question. Can you honestly tell me in all the states that no ballots from people that are already deceased were not filled out and sent in?
I can tell you that what the data has shown overwhelmingly is that this was the most secure election in American history.
Okay, but you can't answer that question either, can you?
I'm answering it. I'm telling you
No,
that.
you're telling me what the data says. I asked.
And
you
the
were
data
asking me
is what we should be driven by.
What the facts are may be the disconnect. Fan defends the pro-Donald Trump media organization One American News Network, or OAN, as being the only outlet given extensive access to the review.
First of all, when we talk about transparency, from day one, the entire process has been live streaming. So anybody
on OAN, with cameras controlled by OAN.
Are you saying that OAN is not a credible news source? Are you saying that? Okay, I'll remember that. CNN is saying that OAN is not a credible one.
Yes.
Okay, very good.
OAN personalities have fundraised for the Arizona audit, and a pro-Trump nonprofit claims it has raised $1.7 million for the audit. Fan says when the audit nears its end, the public will learn who is exactly paying for this. For now, she says taxpayers are covering the first $150,000.
Well, we are paying the $150,000. We are paying for some of the security, and we are paying for the cost of the Coliseum. Well, we're paying for our fair share. Anything over and above that is being covered by others. I do not know who they are, but I know from the get-go there was a lot of grassroots people. I have been told that there are people sending in $10, $50 checks, $100 because they want to see this audit done.
Fan's decision to continue with this audit is backed by the Republican majority in Arizona's Senate.
It looks like they're chasing conspiracies.
Or debunking conspiracies. That's another thing.
And
so you don't look at that. See, everybody wants to twist that word around. How about debunking conspiracy?
And how long do you believe that this process should go?
As long as it takes.
Do you believe this is helping democracy?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Will you do this every election?
It will be a lesson in democracy that we answer people's questions, and I want the people, I don't care if you're in Arizona or any state across the nation, if we have those kind of doubts, we owe it to them to answer their questions. This will be the basis of a gold standard.
Kyung La joins us now from Phoenix. It's interesting. She's saying essentially that if anybody feels like something wasn't fair, then there will always be audits because people will always think something isn't fair. Whoever loses will think it's not fair. And at some point that this will just continue on and on, that this is the new normal.
she quantified it. She said if it's only 2% of voters who think that it's not fair, you can ignore that. But because there are so many, she says, who do not believe this election result, that they have to chase all of these conspiracies. But Republicans here in Maricopa County say that that is not being able to tell the difference between fact and fiction. And Karen Fan, somebody who the Republicans in Maricopa County really deeply admire, have known for many years, Anderson, they say she is chasing a fiction.
I flagged as a bolo last night, but you know what? It's even bigger than, and more important than I made it, okay?
At this point, I don't know, I don't know why they're doing this. Thanks for bullying me on Twitter. Who the fuck are you? Bro, people are so strange. Like, how did I bully you? Like, who are you? Thanks for posting me on stream. Why you send me all your soldiers instead of answering me? Hassan, Saj, thanks for bullying. What?
Abby, I don't know if you've ever covered this, but I am not.
Are you
much
Mark
informed about
Ruffalo?
the Arab
Is this
country's
Mark
stance
Ruffalo's
regarding
account?
The Palestinian struggle. If you know anything about this, could you enlighten us?
You have to look at who's behind the fraud in Arizona. And that's why I call it fraud, because the more you learn and the more you look, the worse it is.
5 months.
It may
lots of
be
love hats.
crazy, but it is real and happening. And there is a new conductor helping to drive the crazy train. It should tell you everything you need to know about the legitimacy of this effort to try to overturn the presidential election results in the state's largest county of Arizona, 7 months after the vote. The Republicans say they did it right. They looked at it.
Fuck, this dude literally looks like a, I mean, it's not saying much because Steve Bannon is so ugly, but like he looks like a better looking Steve Bannon, who is of course still incredibly, hurt. Airbrush Steve Bannon. I just like old Lud. Okay, Chaz really got to stop saying every fucking white dude is old Ludwig. Oh, by the way, I was wrong. I thought it was supposed to start a little bit later, but the Roast of Mizkif is starting in like 20 minutes. For the record.
Twice. The people who are on the board overseeing it, who are all Republicans, don't understand why this is happening. But now you will. This man is former Overstock CEO.
I think he's at one.
Patrick Byrne. He has turned crazed Trump sympathizer.
That's wrong. I don't know. That's what. Uh, 1 p.m. Pacific, right? Yeah. Yeah. Will and Austin said last night is at 1 p.m. Pacific. Okay, yeah. Who's streaming? I'm still gonna be live. Like, I'm not gonna go offline. I'm still gonna be live, and then afterwards we're gonna do like after the did you write your own jokes? Yes. I got help, but I wrote my own jokes as well.
Resubbed with that non-Mackenzie.
So why aren't you in Austin then? It's not everyone is in Austin, dude. I got some ghostwriters. When you were showing your answer to Mark Ruffalo's tweet, a tweet answering you could also be seen right below yours. So I guess that's who they are. They were criticizing your tweet, so maybe people here went. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry that they did that. You guys really need to stop fucking doing that. You're like limiting what I can show on stream and making it worse for yourselves. But yeah, I'm sorry that that happened to you, Chatter, if you're still in here. But that was not my intention. I did not mention you at all, or even acknowledge, or did even see it for that so I don't know why you would think I would fucking send my soldiers your way. I like literally did not know. I did not even know that that was a thing. Thanks for bullying me on Twitter, and then said lol, and then sad face. Okay, well, I'm sorry. That was not.
I watched a clip of XQC win 120k on slots.
Very,
Can you
very
please tell
passionate
me a
about
poor
it.
uni student I
He
will
is
never
helping
win or succeed
bankroll
through gambling?
this clown show in Maricopa County with a group he runs called the America Project. His group is apparently helping not just raise money, but to decide who counts the ballots. They are recruiting the volunteers as a liaison with the Republican-controlled state Senate. He's launched a website that aims to raise nearly $3 million for the sham and claims to have already raised well over half that to prove Trump was the rightful winner. Now, you may be thinking, so Byrne, I like Overstock. What's the big deal? Byrne is the guy who says he was present at that bonkers meeting at the White House in the final days of Trump's presidency about martial law, the one attended by that kraken Sidney Powell and the disgraced former National Security Advisor, Michael Flynn. There was allegedly a clash over talk of martial law and seizing voting machines to try to overturn the election. Byrne was there. Byrne is the guy who
Can't feel that fucking burn, baby. But in a different kind of way.
came on this program a couple years ago with one of the wildest
5
allegations
months I
I've ever
enjoyed watching
heard,
her stream
saying
at
the
my
so-called
desk
deep
instead of doing
state
my job.
was directing him before the last presidential election to pursue a romantic relationship with convicted Russian operative Maria Butina. You remember this? The FBI wanted you to continue your association to get information. They never told you you needed to have a romantic relationship with somebody.
Well, eventually, yes, they did.
They told you that you had to have a romantic relationship?
That's what I'm getting to. This gal, Maria, oh my gosh, highest national priority. And they said, and the very honorable men and women, the men in black, they said, we want to be clear. This never happens in the United States. We are the good guys. Oh, we don't work like the bad guys, but we need to ask you to rekindle a romantic relationship with Maria Butina. And
members of the FBI that you're sure were members of the FBI asked you to do this. And you know their names.
And I know their names.
Here's the problem. Former top FBI.
Bro, the funniest part about like
Thanks for having a
the funniest part about like Russian espionage in America is that it's oftentimes done through the dumbest ways, through the dumbest hogs, in such a way that it literally feels like unreal. Like, who would get caught up in this? You know what I mean? Like, to be fair, if you are a fucking world superpower that just straight up dominates everyone, but internally you have such like horrible fucking security measures, and internally you have such like you have no control, and that you know, hogs have this like insane entitlement that like it's so penetrable. Why wouldn't you, if you're Russia, try to fucking create as much chaos as possible internally in America? Like, why wouldn't you do that? And it's wild because like there are, and it's not just like horny motherfuckers. Like, there are a lot of these things, dude. It's just crazy. Why are all these conspiracy pushers cracked out 50-year-old dude ex-CEOs?
Officials said, no, he doesn't. There's nothing to this. Then,
I mean, Maria Butina was like Like she was good, dude. Like she was able to get in to so many DC circles. I mean, when you think about it, Sacha Baron Cohen was able to exploit a lot of like the weaknesses in American like in the way that America governs itself by being able to like use certain aspects, like, you know, portraying himself as a Israeli intelligence community officer, you know what I mean, and or even like portraying themselves as a lobbyist. Like he was able to do so much. So it's something as like
Almost
simple as that, all the way to like Mario Butina just like going all the way to like the Christianity or the Christian dinner that they host. Like it's so funny. Like, why wouldn't you?
Social justice.
It's like the fucking homemade rockets that Hamas launches indiscriminately at Israel. If you have a colonial power absolutely dominating every aspect of your existence, and you're causing them $40,000 to intercept every single fucking like sugar and fertilizer made like rocket, like homemade rocket, then like in an effort to at least show some kind of retaliation, like of course they're gonna do that. Do you see what I mean? It's like you have no power. Russia, in the grand scheme of things, has pro-Russia take? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not pro-Russia take. What I'm trying to say is, like, we often look at history from the lens of, what do you call it? From the lens of like, or not history. We often look at political conflict and foreign policy from the lens of like an America-centric approach, right? No matter how woke you are, you still look at it from a America first approach, no matter what happens, right? So because of that, we rarely ever consider, it's like, if a country with a fucking GDP that's like smaller than Texas has an opportunity to like cause so much chaos, why wouldn't they take it? Like they see us as a foreign adversary, and it's so fucking easy to exploit. So I don't know. I mean, even from a point of view, even from POV is like looking at America from a national security point of view, why don't we just like, I don't know, fix our shit instead of just like trying to increase sanctions or use this as an opportunity to further justify military action in the region, or like give fucking Ukrainian Nazis weapons or some shit. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me that instead of like defending ourselves, we just continue the same cycle of the American military industrial complex machine. We just keep feeding the military industrial complex machinery rather than like actually taking preventative measures. It's very weird. An old adage in the Cold War was that Russia's a third world country with a bunch of nukes and tanks.
Justice. That's the brand, and that's the name they've created for it. But what it really is it's neo-Marxism. What it really is cultural Marxism. It is another way to tear apart capitalism, the American way of life.
So are you okay with that school in your state doing that?
No, I don't think we should be teaching that. I think people...
Yeah, we shouldn't be teaching that neo-Marxist shit.
Here's what I think we should be teaching people at universities. I think we should be teaching them engineering. I think we should be teaching them biology. I think we should be teaching them science. And
what did Wait. What did Marco Rubio? I want to know. I almost said Marco Ruffalo. What degree did he get? Marco Rubio earned his Bachelor of Arts degree in political science from the University of Florida.
Engineering, math, other technological fields. I think it should.
Motherfucker, you're poli-sci. Like, what the fuck is this shit? You're not even a STEM lord yourself. I mean, I guess it's fair criticism to be like, yeah, Poli-sci creates idiots like this guy. So abolish poli-sci. Abolish the social sciences is only focus on STEM.
Should be teaching people the skills they need to find a good paying job.
By the way, we talk about anti-Semitism rising in the United States, but here's something that's unironically a Nazi propaganda point. Cultural Bolshevism, cultural Marxism. Cultural Marxism is a modernized version of the Nazi talking point that, like, Jews in the Frankfurt School are degenerating Western society. Okay, they're pumping like ideas of feminism and liberation. It is literally blood libel. Okay, it's straight up blood libel, originated by like Jews degenerating these pure white Aryan nations. Okay, and also trying to do a pro-immigration or open our borders to fucking black and brown people so they can like destroy American like the pure American white roots. So it's kind of odd that like the same people who are like anti-Semitism is on the rise are literally using Nazi propaganda points.
And contribute to their community, their families, and their country in the 21st century. That's why we have universities. That's why we have college degrees. Not to train a generation of cultural Marxist activists, but to train people so they can go out and find jobs that are good for them, good for their families, and good for the country.
Why 90% of porn directors and actors are Jew? See, this is what I mean when I say there's like a lot of fucking weirdo Nazis. Like that's so weird. It's literally not even real. That's a completely... You just made that up. And even if that was the case, like, so what? It's not the case. You totally made that up. But so what? What the fuck, bruh? Clean your chat for real? Are you fucking stupid? You think we don't ban people literally nonstop as soon as we catch them? You fucking moron. Are you dumb? I mean, I guess you are dumb, yeah. We literally fucking... I'm in the process of banning people in a 30K chat as soon as I see it, while literally talking about like Nazi propaganda and its roots and its dangers. And you're like, dude, clean your fucking community, dog. Like, it's kind of weird. What do you want from me? You are absolutely never going to find a community that has like any community that's live streaming to have like other like outside actors come in to fuck them up. Anyway.
That's why we do this and why we should be subsidizing, why the American taxpayer, why the Florida's taxpayers should be subsidizing teaching our young students how to hate America, how to hate everything about our history, how to divide and hate one another, how our identity is not American but the color of our skin, why we should be spending taxpayer money to teach these things that are destructive, not to mention untrue, is beyond me. I don't understand why that's happening, and I hope...
All right, well, it's top of the fucking hour, boys, so I gotta show you something funny. I'm gonna hit a quick ad break here. We're going into the Mizkif roast in a moment, and I'm still gonna be streaming, obviously. So Wait, hold on. Segways are sleeper as fuck today? Yeah, I know. I'm tired, man. I can't give you good segues. Here's the fucking ad break. I don't really care. What do you think about this new gambling meta on Twitch? I think it's genuinely fucking terrible. I've already said what I've said a million times over. I have friends that are fucking doing it too, and I've even told them in private like it's fucking terrible. It's not just degenerate. I love degeneracy. You know I love degeneracy. I'm a filthy fucking hedonist. This is more than just degeneracy. I think it's like actually fucking horrible for influencers with like a broad demographic to be like watching their favorite celebrities that they like idolize and have a parasocial relationship with like constantly and consistently fucking gambling. And it doesn't even matter if it's like 18 plus guarded. I mean, I guess like that's one immediate way of trying to stop it. But I think that like I think that gambling is not to be fucked with. Like you will destroy your life and your family's life. Like it's not just any kind of addictive behavior. There's like safeguards behind a lot of this stuff, but this sort of online gambling doesn't really have that kind of safeguard either. It's really, really fucking sad. It's scary shit, dude. My friend's father went straight to the casino after having open heart surgery. The onus is on. Hold on one second. I gotta fix some shit up in here real quick. The onus is, as an adult, the onus is on what? Like your parents? Absolutely. But gambling addiction is like, especially with how readily accessible it is through crypto and how little safeguards there are currently for that. They say they're gambling with the money sponsors give them. Yeah, that's how they do it. But like people often focus on the wrong shit.
Hey.
People often focus on the wrong shit and they'll say like, oh, well, it's bad when they, make it seem like you have a higher chance of winning if you're like doing a sponsor stream or something. Yeah, that stuff is disgusting. And that's really, really bad. But gambling inherently, like that kind of gambling inherently is really bad because it's just slots. It's just pure slots. It's especially weird that streamers are often not risking anything. Well, some streamers aren't risking anything, but there's still a massive risk. And that risk is like, these streamers are not that rich, dude. Like, I mean, they're rich as fuck, but no one is so rich that they can fucking avoid.
Why are we talking about gambling?
Why are we talking about gambling? I don't know. I think a lot of streamers are doing it again. That's probably why. Hold on.
Roll damn bones.
1 second. I gotta do something here. I'm just like fixing some stuff up for the stream. How do I make this like?
A month ago I made the dank hog emote and I'm really glad you like it. I love this community and I'm grateful for the time and effort you put into it. Hassle dank hog. Hasanabi, I am struggling with ADHD and I can never seem to concentrate on one thing for more than
Hold on. Okay. Put this here. I'm already muted. Let me get into the Discord. Boys, are you guys ready for this? This is going to be a lot of fun. Everyone, including Miz, thought you were coming to Austin. I never said that. I don't know why people thought that that was going to happen. I literally did not say that I was going to Austin for this. I don't know why people thought this. I legitimately don't know where this came from, okay? All right, I'm deafened. Melina, setting up your desk for your big ass.
Holding frame for 7 months.
Okay.
Hassel.
Austin said you're okay and can cover more news. He just needed you on cam. Also undeafen for a sec. Dude, where are you? Undeafen real quick? Okay.
Yo, it's me.
Hello, what's going on?
Yo, I just wanted to let you know you can cover more news just for a few minutes. There's a few people that are late, or there's one person that's late.
Oh, of course, dude. Of course. And I have the Zoom link covered up completely.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Some people are covering their some people are still writing their monologues. So
Wait, really?
some people are editing their monologues, but it's okay. It's okay.
Okay. Is there a way not to have just Lakari's face on here? Like I just that's the only thing that's showing up on my
end. You gotta
I
switch to gallery mode.
Oh, there it is. That's what I'm talking about. That's a lot better.
Yeah, you don't.
I mean, no offense, Lakari.
Don't show them yet though, because it hasn't started.
Okay, I'm not showing them anything. I won't show them the fucking meeting.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right. Can I deafen now?
Yeah, deafen. Go back to the news. I'll let you know when it's time.
All right. Bye. Okay, so folks, we are going to be we're going to be going into this in a little bit. We're going to be doing a roast for. Hold on, I got to change something in the background real quick because the other camera also shows like. Have you practiced your delivery? I have not, dude. I'm like legitimately fucking worried about my delivery. I'm not gonna. I don't want to leak the jokes yet, but I'm actually fucking worried about my delivery. Like I don't know. I hope I don't fuck this up. I'm not like very good at this shit at all. I'm actually scared, dude. I'm actually scared. I'm very excited to see what kind of jokes people wrote. Hold on. I'm going to take this script that I have here. Hold on. I just like don't know if some of the stuff that I wrote is acceptable or not. You know what I mean? Fuck. I'm so tense. Just don't make an alcoholic. Just don't make an alcoholic dad joke. It's a rose. Why not? No, I know. I mean, listen, don't cancel me for any of this shit, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Fire off one right now? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. How do you say roast in Turkish? Kavurma. Oh, God. I should have never actually said that, like, I'm scared, because that's the worst thing that I should have never said that I'm actually worried about, you know, what's going on here, because, like, that's the worst thing that you can do, like, being scared like this. Okay. But, all right, let's change it. Did you write the jokes yourself? Yes. I got help. Hold on one second. I don't need to put the room divider up because no one's here, so it's fine. Did you rose Mizkif for everyone? No, it's a rose, so it's everyone. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. I gotta fix something here real quick. Hold on. How is Mizkif so late for his own rose? What a dipshit. Yeah, true, dude. Fucking true. Okay, let's look at these two last things before we continue. Okay, I'm gonna hold frame like a fucking Sigma male, you feel me? I'm gonna hold frame all the way. You should have at least practiced. What if someone makes the same joke as you? No. There's like, oh, I'm gonna get roasted too. Of course, that's how it works. You get roasted as well. That's just how it is. Are we still waiting, or are we good to go? Like, I have no fucking idea. We'll see. I'm fucking so scared, dude. Okay.
3.
I'm holding frame. Why would they roast you? No, they're gonna roast me too. Have you guys never seen a roast? Like oh, I forget. This is a leftist community. Of course you've never seen a roast. Because comedy is degenerate and illegal, or should be. Okay, here. Let's look at this real quick. So Eve Barlow wrote an op-ed, I guess, on Tablet. The social media pogrom.
I love you all so much. Thank you for a great year. Hassle.
Yeah, roasts are problematic and promote bully culture or whatever. The Scottish free parking lady wrote this fucking article. And apparently this is how it starts. I don't know who crafted the first tweet. That simply said, Eve Fartlow, but whoever it was, bot or human, started a fire. Over the past 2 weeks, Twitter has been littered with the words Eve Fartlow. Every time I tweet, this title is the response I attract. And it is pelted at me, irrespective of what I write. So that's what a fucking solid way to open, dude.
Eve Fartlow.
Wait, what is this? Look, here's a nice thing. Try and hate this. I got into an Uber on Hollywood Boulevard tonight as a group of cars waved Palestinian flags, honking and protesting. My Uber driver asked if I was okay, and I told him I had had a bit of chronic day. I explained how much of the toll... Wait, Fartlow... I'm already calling her Fartlow. Fartlow lives in Hollywood. I thought she was still all the way out in Scotland. She says she had a bit of a chronic day. I explained how much of a toll the past 2 weeks has taken because of the war in the Middle East. He says, oh, I understand. I'm Armenian, and we had a terrible conflict a few months ago, and nobody understands it because it's complicated. Least of all, Kim Kardashian. 2 of his relatives are still in hospital, and he's unsure they'll make it. He asked me my position.
1 year of brain
I told him I want peace in the region, and that I'm a Jew who advocates for the existence of Israel, but that I also want the Palestinians to have a safe place to live and be governed democratically. He started talking about how he thinks social media is the worst thing that happened. Everyone thinks they're an activist now, and nobody knows what the word means. I said I agreed. He asked me who had been talking about this. I said Bella Hadid. He laughed. He said that the media doesn't tell the truth anymore and that all he wants are facts. I don't have to agree with you on everything, but let's all look at facts, discuss them, and learn from each other. I haven't agreed more with anyone in weeks. Bro, let me just say something. Why is this like... Why? How is this person a writer, dude? It's crazy. Like, the level of creativity on this fake story that did not happen is so low. All right, Barry Weiss says, I have heard from half a dozen stories like this in the past week. Friends, hairdressers, trainers, editors saying they can no longer do business with them because they're Zionists. Fucking doubt it. Mizkif's disappearing hairline represents in real time the land being stolen from Palestine. Jesus Christ. Why are you reading it, though? It proves the person was good. I urge everyone to read all the responses to this tweet about people being denied services because they're Jewish. Now, imagine if these things were being said about any other minority group. Okay. I'm not going to use that one in the fucking roast, dude. Are you crazy? Dude, what is... like... Okay. First of all, I fucking doubt that this is real. But if it were real, there is a significant difference between people being like, oh, well, your uncritical and unconditional support for a violent ethno-state project that happens to occupy land where Palestinians used to live is really fucked up. Is not the same as like they're just saying no to working with Jews. Okay? Like that's insane. That's insanity. And also, this is like such a preposterous fucking sentiment because it's like, now imagine if they were saying that about any other minority group. Like, I don't know. I mean, the Trump administration literally had a Muslim ban. So what the fuck are you talking about? And I find this really funny because, like, is she saying that, so what is she saying? Is she saying that, like, white evangelical Christians, is she saying that, like, white evangelical Christians are being stopped from, frequenting businesses? Is that what she's saying? The largest group of Zionists in America?
5 months hassle.
And if it is Zionist, like, why is she talking about how, why does she flip it to all Jews? Because they're Jewish. I already read the first paragraph of this article. It's really bad.